Hmm. So, good afternoon. Sitting here listening to. Wonder what happened. One going one way. Oh, that's a truck. And fire EMS. Yeah, that's what it is. Hmm. Anywho, all right, it's quiet. Just thought I would pop on here, take a little break. I had hmm, something on my mind that I wanted to speak on, but I want to see if anybody's gonna pop on here. Hmm. Nobody yet. Nobody. So nobody comes on. I probably won't address it, but because I want some feedback. Yeah, no big deal. No big deal at all. Whew, hey, LOL. Girl, yeah. I'm gonna turn this around. Turn this. See, I keep trying to flip the camera. There. All right. I'm just sitting here chilling. I have a migraine. I haven't had migraine in a long time, but migraine. Girl, I was watching your I was watching your blog this morning. So true, so true. I think people think because we get on here and we are putting ourselves out, but not really. They don't understand how far we actually go as bloggers, and it's really not that far. You see like 5 minutes worth of something, 10 minutes, even if it's, a half an hour, you can't get the full picture, but people make assumptions and then they feel that they can ask you every freaking thing under the sun. Like you have to answer. And it's like, I have had, I don't even, I don't defend myself, but I stop them. I've had so many times where people will, um, say something. People even call me. And I'm like, how many times have I told you, don't question me? There are certain things that I can tolerate and certain things I don't. And some things I feel are personal. But people just reach for no reason. It's crazy. I try to be, I don't know, I'm not that, I don't know. I'm nice, but it's a limit to that because it's like some people are just nosy. And it's like, for real, would you ask yourself, would you want somebody asking you questions like that, especially when it comes to the kids or somebody else? I have said that a dozen times. If I'm talking about something and it concerns somebody else, I'm not going to say too much about the situation because that other person is not here to speak on it. And it's not my place. It's just not my place at all. But people are so, some people share that stuff and then they feel that, okay, well, so and so did, they answered all those questions. But in retrospect, those people sit back and they think about stuff because they may come back later on. Well, I said so and so, I shouldn't have said so and so. Yeah, you was all of your feelings because you had that audience and you felt you can open up, and then it just opened a can of worms. So you did right. I do that all the time. I keep it brief. I keep it genuine though, but I keep it brief on the on the comments and what I'm saying. It just I'm really picky and choosy about stuff. There's so much stuff. I keep more than I share, and that's just always because really I don't know you guys. People you don't know people like that, and the least little thing that you give them, they're gonna run with it. So kudos for sharing. And yeah, I understand it came out in a rant, but those are your boys. You don't have to explain that stuff. If your boy is Einstein, let him be Einstein. I think I had that issue once before when I had the 3-year old doing kindergarten stuff or some, and they were like, "What?" And I said, "You know what? I'm not even gonna explain that. I'm just gonna do it. Let the child do what she does. I don't have to explain that, you know." So yeah. Anyway, um, I just I think it's good that people can you know it is good to share, but again, people need to respect other people. Um, I I said this time and time again, I live by these 3 F's on here. And when it comes to us, comes to me, if you're not financing, feeding, and I'm not gonna say the other one because it's explicit, but it start with an F, me, then stay out of mine. That's just, period. Stay out of it. Because there's no place for that. It's good to be cordial, speak, associate and stuff like that. But certain things you just don't need to know about people. Go get a life. They're gonna tell you whatever. Even people that you know gonna tell you what they want to tell you. So, mm mm mm. Just, mm. Oh boy. But yeah, y'all. What? Yeah, they're gonna tell you whatever and keep it moving. Mm, what? So, man, I gotta. I don't know what to say. I really don't on that, but um, I know I've had people that have come at me like that, and they know it. That's why I don't talk to them. Um, like I said, it's just a certain line. There's questions that I like to ask people, but I don't because I know I put myself in that position, and yeah, I know. I can sometimes you can put two and two together and figure things out, but certain things you don't need to know. It's none of your business. But I had a lot of people, will talk. I talk to you and you know, conversation, all that good stuff. But you want to know everything about me, but you can't tell me anything about you. That's the thing I don't get down with. You know, and the communication has to be mutual. So I mean, but if it's just a general question um, on something, that's fine. But yeah, set your boundaries, stick to them. I'm not trying to please nobody. I said, you're not. I'm doing me. You do you. Hmm. Oh, but yeah, another day. I'm about to get up and finish this stuff I'm doing. Get these kids back to the table. They taking a little break. I was in there trying to what was I doing? I don't even know. I was about to fall asleep. I had a migraine and I've been having these kids work on stuff as they can, but we got to get some stuff done because it has kind of subsided. Yeah, yeah. Brows a lot. Yeah, my hair is wet. That's what I was doing. I'm in a conditioner all day, and yep, I will go out the house just like this, y'all. Just so y'all know, I don't. I'm comfortable. There's nothing wrong with it. I try to let the girls see, even though braids are quote unquote natural. Um, I don't know. Some people got issues. I mean, you got your hair done. I don't know. But yeah, I'm good. Just like this. I am going to straighten my hair because I can't deal really for too long like this. But yeah, for the meantime, yeah, it has grown out so freaking long. Don't let this fool you. Don't let these curls fool you. My hair is down my back. But yeah, y'all know in the hair arena. What the heck is that? So, but yeah, I try to let them understand that it's not all about what do you call it, straight hair and um man, what do you call that stuff? I don't know. Y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. Be happy, straight, curly, kinky, fro, whatever. Be comfortable in your skin. So what I do is health wise, I keep it up, and that's the reason why I keep it up because it keeps the hair healthy. So yeah, I just try not to do anything to it. That's why I'm not gonna leave it like this. If I can straighten it, I can do a little more with it because I can wrap it up. But like this, I don't want to leave it like this too long because the moisture. I have to make sure it stay moisturized. So that's the reason why I'm gonna go ahead and straighten it and just wrap it. But it's not dripping anymore, but it's still wet for the most part. Little marks fading. Mm-mm-mm. But mm, yeah, yeah. Be comfortable with who you are. Mm, Hmm. So I tell you about leaving the hair up. Yes, just get up and go. Even when I flat iron and wrap it, I can just take it down and go, and I don't have to. I don't like to comb my hair. That's the thing. And if I do this, I have to put all kind of stuff in it, and I don't want to be bothered. Not at all. And I'm not about that twisting up this and taking this out. I don't want to do that. I might as well just braid it up and leave it done. I think I don't know. It's just sometimes if you don't, because if you keep it twisted and you don't keep it twisted, if you don't do it consistently and keep it moisturized properly, it just defeats the purpose. And that's too much upkeep for me. This is too much upkeep. That's why I'd rather just straighten it and be done, so I don't have to. I can just do whatever I want. And for the most part, if I wrap it, I don't have to keep straightening it. But I am gonna go back in the braids. I just wanted to take it down for a while and really deal with it. So I had to do something to the girls' hair and stuff. I think even when I did their hair, I mean, for the most part, like it the way it is, and then we'll straighten it every now and then. But and that's mainly just to trim their ends and stuff like that, or if it's a certain style. Otherwise, I let them know, hey, you don't have to conform. You don't have to do, um, what other people. You don't have to look like how other people want. I do old school class after washing dishes. Yes, that's really what I've been doing to the girls. I haven't really done anything. That's why I haven't shared anything really in this whole year on the hair on them because I haven't really done too much. Just a couple styles. I think I did do pictures on Instagram. But the routine is the same. I have one tender head. Yes, my little one is like that. I don't know. She claims she tender head, but she the one always want her hair done. She just got. We got a whole lot of hair. That's all. We got a whole lot of hair. Whew, whole lot of hair. And so I don't blame her, but her hair has done exactly what I needed it to do. I was just waiting for her to get a little bit older because the older she gets, the longer, the straighter it gets. And not that I want it straight, but her hair was um so curly that it was just hard to get through it. And I just didn't want to damage her hair like that. I like to be able to get through it and keep it moist because sometimes, like I said, I see these kids or people with these twists and the stuff be all dry, and I'm like that. I mean, you could look at it and tell it's dry. So I'm like that. The twist, okay, protective, but it's really dry, and I just didn't want her like that. I like it to look like it's being fed, and not have to hear crackling when I'm trying to run a comb through it or a brush through it. So it has definitely lengthened out a whole lot. It stretched a whole lot by itself. So I think twist outs are pretty on people. Yeah, they are pretty. They are really pretty. It's just the maintenance of it. I just can't be doing all that. If I don't know, we just got too much hair. If it was not a whole lot of hair, maybe, but I can't be doing all that. That's just too much. To take 2 hours, twist that mess up, and then you got to undo it. And no, I'm just not about that life. Not when I can spend 2 hours and braid my whole head, and it stay up, for a couple weeks. I'm good, but yeah, yeah. See, that's why I put the twist in. That's why I do the faux twist, so I can have that look and not have to twist that mess every night and do it again. Yes. So, but yeah, I know that is an alternative to 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 braiding and keeping it healthy and stuff like that. That's the alternative. So, yeah, too crazy. I think if I had a girl, a little girl, girl, who you telling you done? I'm done. Everybody done. Listen to these kids. Trying to figure out what happened down the street. Oh, commotion or down the road. I keep saying street like we live somewhere and we in the country. I've noticed little girls wear weaves with color. Some mothers don't care. I don't know about the weave. Braids, I don't mind. Like I said, I did. The girls do want their hair. They want one of them want pink, one of them want purple, and I don't know what the other one wanted. Blue, I think. I don't mind doing that because it's not their hair. And I know having older girls, they're gonna do it anyway. I had one with blue green hair one time. Um and I can't say nothing because I just took out purple braids. I don't mind doing that, even though I have actually colored my hair. But I don't mind doing that. But weaves and color, I think that's a little bit too grown. That is a little bit too grown. And yeah, they need to be, educated on taking care of their hair and properly. But again, sometimes it's the parents that really don't know what to do and how to do it. And yeah, they just, they weren't taught themselves, and it's difficult. I see that a lot on here. People, just because they see somebody put up a video, they want to tell them, well, you shouldn't do this to the child. And it's like, wait a minute, this is my child. Worry about your child hair. Okay? I've never, if somebody asked me something directly, I would say XYZ. That's why I share. But I'm not going to say, oh, well, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Um, ultimately, you're going to do what you want to do, and you're going to do it because it's your child. And, I would say, okay, well, I wouldn't do that, or I don't do this. Um, this is what I do. And I pretty much do the same thing I've been doing, even though everybody has different hair, all my girls. But I pretty much stay away from, we don't do chemicals and stuff like that. It just, certain things that we do the same, but it's a learning curve. I've seen long ponytails, bright red, blonde. They have to be old enough to, teenage. Let me see, what did I do? I don't think I did anything with color. I can't remember. Maybe, yeah, maybe I did once I got really up there. Yeah, I did. I did, but not early teenage. I didn't. But yeah, mm that's too much. Let's see, because I could do it. I experimented a lot, but I did my own. I wouldn't let nobody else do it because I didn't want them to mess my hair up. So, but yeah, the stuff in elementary school, no way. I was watching something. Oh, it was a couple of girls. I think that was probably about 10, 11 ish. And they had sew ins. And I was like, but they had pretty hair. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it had to depend on the situation. Maybe they did it because it was thin, or they just wanted to braid it up, but they could have done that without the sewing. I don't know. Just certain style. Some of it is just over the top. And yeah, I feel like that's too much. Too much. So, but again, I'm not telling anybody how to do their kids' hair. Do what you're going to do. Man, the shrinkage is real. But I do have my hair up, so you can't even, the back is up. That's why I look like this. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But, yeah, I just, man, girl, I'm just thinking. You said you was typing for 30 minutes. I would have just left that, left it by the wayside, because I don't know, some things, excuse me, you just can't, you can't explain. And then it's usually somebody that doesn't watch regularly. What are you yelling about? Or it's somebody that you regularly talk to and they feel like they can cross that boundary. Those are the ones I just have to distance myself from and say, hey, you just don't know. Um, or have I ever questioned you? Or just ignore it altogether. But yeah, I see you. I've been watching for a while, and I heard you talk about how the kids, how they learn and what they do and stuff like that. What I'm interested in is how you, and I know part of this is either they have it or they don't. But I see a lot of people talk about this, but nobody has really ever hit it. Like, I don't know, they just kind of gloss over it. It's a ongoing topic, but it's never really hit. How as far as their fluency and their like their facts and stuff like that, how did you concrete that stuff? Like, when did you start, and how, like, what did you do? Was it drills daily? Was it them writing the facts down? Was it something on a video? Was it a song? That's what I'm interested in. How did you do that? 'Cause I see that a lot, and I think it's pretty much, by kid, but it also, I know math, just like any other, some kids are just inclined by parent. One of the parents is maybe very strong in math or very strong in reading or something like that, and one of the kids pick it up, and they're just, and I see that, um when you talk about your boys, Tanya. So I'm just curious if you do something, a few minutes, talk about a few minutes on that. How did you do, especially, with the little, not the little one, but the middle one, since he's still so early, how is he progressing in that? And yeah, it's like one of those, when you, I guess it's the equivalent of how you teach a child to read. Some people want to do the sight words, some people want to do the phonetics, some people want to use the little, this book or that book. But yeah, I've never, and what's happening is these kids are getting in the second and third grade, and the parents are saying they're having issues with XYZ. And it's like all of that stems from fluency. And I go back and I'm like, I never saw any of that. From everything you've been showing, I never saw this. And I'm curious, maybe they didn't think I didn't solidify. They were just turning the pages in the book because the book said turn the page, but they didn't solidify. That's why it's really hard to follow a math curriculum, if you're just page turning, because they don't really give you enough practice. They give you like the basic core, but they don't really tell you, okay, do this or do that. As far as supplement or extra practice. I've seen somebody, they were talking about teaching textbooks, and they were in I think Matthew C, and they switched to teaching textbooks, and they saw, the what do you call it, how you can, because I saw this too, that's the reason why I wouldn't do it. You can fake that thing out because it's a system. The child, because you can, if they get it wrong, you get all these chances to do this problem until you get it correct, and your score is going to show correct. Well, that does not mean that child has mastered that concept, but in that system, in that program, it makes the child believe that they have mastered it. So your child can go through it and, fairly get a decent grade, but that doesn't mean they know anything. And so they were like, yeah, I took him out because, it wasn't working. He didn't know XYZ. And I'm like, yeah, that, I'm so glad I didn't do that. um I can do that. Yeah, that have one mastery, that can have one mastery. Yes, TT can help kids cheat. Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, I want to know, as far as like what you did to get them. I don't know if it was mentally, like I said, was it a daily thing? Did you just, one plus one, two plus two until they got it? Did they write it down? Did you do it on a chalkboard? What did you do to get them down? Were you timing them? So, yeah, I think that'll definitely, definitely help I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure these kids out because some days I just don't know. I really don't know. But I know ours. I told you guys we are using Raise, and I do have a playlist, a public playlist up of all the stuff. And what the kids do is go on YouTube and watch the lesson. He'll show them the lesson, and then they'll go and they'll do the lesson. And I sit with them to make sure they understand, and they'll go do the lesson in their books. But it's sometimes if they have to watch it twice or whatever, they watch it. And I like to see how they think, just watching him, because they have to, he gives them a chance to answer the uh the question. And I like to see, because sometimes when they're watching a lesson, they can get the answers really quick, but when I put them in the book and I'm like, okay, do the stuff, they act like they can't remember. And I'm like, wait a minute, you just did this 5 minutes ago. So are we still back on this fluency thing? Oh, yeah. um, but I'm patient. I'm not pushing it. I'm taking my time, and I don't think that they need to be rushed. They probably need a spiral. Or I don't know. Most of the time, most of the time they just don't want to do anything. But I'm not above bribery, so yeah, you know. Sometimes all it takes is a little something, and they get spit them that stuff out like, oh yeah, you know. They go through the drill, get through the word problems. Costco has these chocolate covered almonds, and sometimes that's what it take. We just, if you get it right, you get one, and trust me, they have handfuls. So it's not it's not that they can't, they just don't want to. But I'm just trying to, this little one, she's a mess. We have to my husband was talking to her the other day about reading. She is you guys know she can read. She's been reading, but this little girl, I don't know, she likes these little Bob books, but she won't read any book that, oh, so I'm trying to get her into the chapter book thing, but not, I'm not forcing it. She's just, yeah, she's not gonna do it. But she she will not read any books if they don't have color. If they don't have pictures with color, she won't read them. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to expand your reading. So I have to get really creative with her, because she's just not, she can read very well, and great fluency. She needs to move it, and she just doesn't want to. It's like, okay, every book you read, you can get $1. So we're gonna see how that works. But she'll tell you, yeah, I can read, I just don't want to. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she sounds like another one of my kids. Just a little bit lazy, just cycle through the concepts more. Yeah. And that's what I liked about the last, that's what I liked about the purposeful design. And I shared a whole lot. The only thing I didn't share was the teacher manual, which I did purchase a PDF, because you guys know I showed you guys that the thing is $90. I'm gonna share a little bit without like putting it out there, because I know it is a I'm not supposed to share it, but that thing, and I'm not. It took a long time to get through that book, and that's because we really, really took our time in the concepts. And I want to say it was, I can't even say it was more mastery than spiral. It was actually a good mix of both. And the teacher's manual has so much stuff that you could easily use that. one lesson or one level for a couple of years. Um, like grades one, you can use it for one and two, grade two, two and three, because of the depth that it goes and the additional stuff that's included within the teacher's manual. All the masters and all that kind of stuff, the drills and everything. So there's no way they shouldn't be able to get through and actually get that stuff down. But yeah, that's the thing I liked about that, because they would get through 2 pages and go back, even just on the bottom of that one of the pages, they were going back a couple of concepts to make sure that they remembered. And so they didn't get too far. And then they had a review in the book, and then I had in my teacher's manual the actual test. So yeah, it was just that's a lot um, to do. And the little one, I don't know. Even though the book is color, she just not. I have to remember she just turned 5, so I'm not trying to push her, but I did not purchase for her or for them other two, because I don't think they really want that style of they don't want that style of math. So like I'm not going to I can still use my masters and stuff like that, my black line masters with them. And I can still go through the book even though they or the books even though they other kids use them. I can still go through the stuff. But we're just, they really prefer the drill base kind of that Ray's does, and the word problems. They like the real life word problems. So I just let them do that. But yeah, I really cycle through the concepts. I can see that a lot. I can say a lot of these programs I see, the concept, you learn something one day and then the next day it may be, the same thing, and then something else, and then the next day is something else, and there's really not enough practice with that. So I can understand how a child can get so far and not really understand what they're doing. Hey, Crystal. Good to see you too. So, but yeah, we just kind of work at our own pace, and like I said, let them do what they can and try to keep them up to speed with the school system, so that at least it won't be foreign. So they have a good understanding of this, that, and other. I think my kids, I think they're I don't want to say they're it's any child's uh what do you call it? It's just learning in general. You have to make sure that they're confident. And sometimes I see, okay, because we did this grade last year, we have to move up. And then you move them up and everything. And sometimes that's just not the case. I don't see that. If your child, just because they're 9, does not mean they need to be doing fourth grade math. They may still be in the second grade math. Don't move them just because. Um, yes, they need to be caught up to speed. So that means you need to be doing a lot of other things and, a little extensive. A tutor, yeah. Um, yeah, you need to really work with them or get some extra help. Take them to a learning center, a Kumon or something. But don't just move them up just because. And that's where a lot of parents I see, and they come and share the frustration, and they won't do this and they won't do that, and it's because of that one subject area they're not confident, so they are quote unquote failing in others. So how did when it came to the double digit addition, I'm like, look, you already know how to add. This is just a couple more numbers. This is how you do this. We get to the triple digit and they're panicking, and I'm like, look, come on, we got this. It's the same thing. And I kind of just introduced stuff to them. I didn't just, okay, let's turn, who we made it to the 3 digit addition, because I didn't want them to freak out. I would show them that stuff or do it on the whiteboard, you know, just to do it. And just show them this is all it is. I showed them multiplication before, it was time. I showed them fractions, before it was time, geometry before it was time, just so that they would not freak out when they got to that stuff. Not to say that they had to do it, but I showed them why we would, use those concepts, and let them know that, hey, you have to get the basis of adding and subtracting, and remind them that if I can tell you, as old as I am, that 7 plus 5 is 12, that means I had to remember that for how many years? Many, many years. So that's the reason why you have to memorize it, because they would forget, oh, well, I don't have to memorize it. I just need to do it today. No, you're going to have to memorize it. So I tutored a math group and noticed that the non-math kids need spirals like Saxon, Horizon, Cioli, and Rebecca. Yeah, one of my kids like that, Saxon. But we do. I try to. We do use what you call it, math method, because I don't particularly care for that, but I see that sometimes if they just need a little break and stuff, and in the on the weekends and in the summer, they use math mammoth. It's the way that the concepts are taught, because it's not like standard, you know. And we pull that stuff up on YouTube too, and I let the teacher do the job. So yeah, listen to the instructor, do what she tell you, and get the paper and sit down and do it. So that's how that works. But I'll share all that stuff later. I got all that stuff stored, and I have the whole I have the program. I have the entire program on PDF. So I don't. That's another thing. I know it's not that expensive, even if you get the DVDs. But I don't have to use everything. I can just print out what I need, and whatever concept they need help on the most, and we do that. And if I see that they're doing, they progressively doing well, and I say, okay, I give them a test. Can you do this? I don't really tell them it's the test, but obviously they can read. But if you can test and test out, then test out. You understand. I agree. Meet them where they are. Yeah, definitely. I'm at the kids. Oh no, what is that? A Becca. I think a Becca and Horizons. I see. It's that color and the concepts. I think they and I don't know. I guess it's just the way they lay out the concepts. That's what I just don't prefer with those two. I think I would more gravitate towards Horizons and a Becca if I had to choose between the two, but they have too many concepts on one page, and that's not because I don't see enough practice. It's one thing to introduce the stuff, but when you have too many concepts and you just keep, it's you're doing adding, you're doing time you're doing, graphing all on the same page. This is too much. Even though it's only a couple of problems for a little child, they need to, work on one thing at a time and get that down. So I'm gonna definitely whew, get in here, like I said, and get these kids situated and finish what I need to have done. Try to work on some vlogs or some videos. The vlogs are there. I just need to work on some videos. That's what I need to do. I need to show you guys this work. I keep saying it and keep saying it, and I have every intention on showing you guys what they have been doing, and I just haven't done it, or what they have done through McGuffey's. But I'm definitely gonna get on that. I'm gonna go ahead and just put up a couple things, and just to kind of show you guys, so you can get a feel for like the handwriting and just the grammar. That's what that does, and yeah, and it's another component to the using McGuffey's that I will share probably in the next couple of months to help you guys out that are still curious. And I have some things, some resources. Resources, that's what it is, resources. I have resources to share. So if anybody's actually using it or actually, about to buy it and they buy it and they want some resources, I have some resources available. Work out something. Of course, they have to be shipped because this is physical, not PDF. So, yeah. But anywho, let me get out of here. It's still wet. It's still soft. But, yeah. Like I said, you guys have a blessed day. Be peaceful. Be respectful. Like I say, it's very hard for someone to come on and share, especially when it comes to a child. And I'm not just talking about this community, but any video. But when it comes to a child, um, just keep that in mind. There's a boundary. Would you want somebody questioning you like that or telling you what to do with your child or with your house or with your money? Cause I yeah, it's mine, it's ours. How you gonna tell us that type of thing? I don't know, but I get that.